The major change from Stanton to here is that I'm using a Wafter hook bait because I'm fishing on clean bottom out there. There's weed everywhere else, but where the rig's actually coming to rest is nice firm silt. Putting plenty of bait out there, and I love fishing Wafters in the summer when the fish are really switched on to the freebies. You know, you want something at the same level as where all those freebies are rather than popped up above it. So I've got a 15mm link Wafter that I've soaked in some of the Garlic Supreme Goo. Doesn't change the colour of the bait at all, it just gives it that extra little bit of attraction over the top of all that freebie out there. You're trying to hone the fish into the hook bait faster than everything else, so you haven't got like a needle in a haystack situation, and that is working really, really well. Everywhere I've taken the garlic, I've just done brilliantly on it. And you see there a small bait with a really big hook, and that's something else that we incorporate in our fishing all the time now. You'll see Dovey using size 4 cranks with a 12mm pop-up. You know, it looks really unsightly, but it really, really works. And I think it's because there's so little bait to get in the way of the hook catching hold, and the hook is so big, it just snares in the mouth every time. Now on the back of the size 2 curve, I've got one of the D-rig kickers. I've spent the last couple of years developing these, fished them all over the world, just had some absolutely amazing results on them. Every hook hold is just like banging the bottom lip. They're just absolutely nailed, and they're just so easy to use. So basically what I do is put a little tiny micro ring swivel onto the D-rig kicker. That goes onto the tapered end first, and then I slide it onto the hook. I cut the little tiny bit of the taper off. In this situation, because I'm going over the top of one of those spinner swivels, you don't want the tapered bit on there. If I was just going to use it on a normal combi rig, you'd want the taper on, just like there is on a normal kicker, just to neaten everything off. But in this situation, that little tapered bit gets in the way. So you slide the fatter bit onto the hook first, and then the thinner bit on, the top bit up there. And then basically the hook is clipped onto that spinner swivel. Now, the trickiest bit of this is getting it pulled over the top of that spinner swivel so it's all neat and tidy and there's no way the hook can get off. And what I normally use is one of the crimp tools and just my fishing towel, and then I just pull it down onto there, maybe wet the eye of the hook to slide it onto it. But once you've done that once, it sort of stretches that material, and often when I'm catching fish and I'm changing the hook really quickly, I'll slide everything off, I'll make the hook barbless, slide the whole D-rig off, slide it onto another hook, clip that hook onto the spinner swivel, and then pull it down. The thing I think that makes it so good, it's not that it's anti-eject, I think it's just the way the bait and the hook are really close together, but as soon as the hook turns and catches hold, the bait just gets out of the way and allows the hook to do its job. Just sits perfectly every time out there. These baits just hover above the hook, so the hook lays flat on the bottom and the bait is just above it, so it's obscuring the sight of the hook as well. And these size 2 curves are so sharp, so strong. Even in weedy situations like this, I've got no problem with bullying the fish. You know, you could say you could go down to a size 4 curve, but I have fished them in these sort of situations, and when I've got fish in, I've opened them up slightly in certain situations. So I don't think they're quite strong enough for really big fish in weedy conditions. That's why I go up to a size 2. You could swap over to a size 4 wide gape X, just use the next size down of kicker, so it pulls up to the top of the hook just as it is there, and they'll work brilliantly as well. What I tend to do with the size 4 wide gape X is I'll in-turn the eye of the hook a little bit more just by putting the eye into the crimp tool and then just applying a bit of pressure to in-turn the eye a bit more so the hook flips over that bit faster and a bit more aggressively. And then the hook link itself, my old faithful boom material. This is the 25-pound boom, about 5 inches long, crimped at either end, and basically that stays on the lead core leader forever. If I don't want to change the length of it or it doesn't get damaged, then I'll use that session after session after session. I'm still using a helicopter rig because you never know what you're going to be casting on these places. Here it's silty. If I went to the swim next door, I might be fishing over 2 foot of Canadian, and then I'll be moving that no trace bead a lot further up the lead core leader so the lead can plummet into the weed and the hook bait can sit on top. And in that situation, I'll probably swap back over to a pop-up just like I used at Stanton. I've got a heli lead on the end there, really flat on the bottom, so you feel that thud as the lead hits the bottom, and that's probably the most important thing when you're fishing weedy lakes. You have to master the art of feeling the lead hit the bottom. If you don't know what you're fishing on, how can you construct a rig that presents the hook bait effectively over it? So a helicopter rig is definitely the safest way to go. If you use a heli safe as well, you're dumping the lead every single time, and that again is absolutely essential on weedy lakes. You've got to be dropping the lead. So either one of those or a hybrid lead clip, and then you know the lead is definitely going to come off. But in this situation, it makes it so versatile for me. The lead core is so durable as well. You know, so I can fish session after session and there's no need to change that at all. If you're not allowed to use lead core, I would fish this setup naked, but what you want to have on there is one of the line saver beads, and that will basically protect the line, because as that comes down to the bottom there and I'm playing the fish, there's a lot of pressure on the line at that point. By using the line saver beads, you're just extending the life of the line, but I would cut that heli safe off every now and again, slide the line saver bead up out the way, retie it back on so you've got a fresh bit of line there, and you should have no problems. So that's my preferred setup for fishing weedy waters. If you swap between a wafter and a pop-up, your hook bait is always going to be in the right position. Fishing the hook baits close to the deck quickly proved effective, and I found myself bent into the first fish of the session. Oh, this fish is taking me right round the corner. It's not good. Come back out the other way. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it, good. Wow, this fish must be radio controlled. That went right into the reeds. And it just come back out again. The weed here has made it almost unfishable in the summer, and it's just started to die down. And the fishing here is a little bit different from Stanton in that you're fishing on clear spots with weed all around. So I'm fishing with link wafters. This one's on a helicopter rig. Come on fella, this way, this way, this way, this way. There he is. Come on, in you come, get in that net. Oh no! Come on mate, this time. Get in that net, get in that net. Bosh, got him! Wicked. Oh, that is good to be off the mark so quickly. There we go. What an awesome, awesome carp to start our session at Cables. 24 pound on the button, this one. Just blackened right up. The water's so clear here. They go really, really dark. I think this is one of Simon Scott's babies, a VS fish. Probably went in here last winter, I would guess at sort of scraper 20. So it's putting weight on, which is brilliant. And I can't wait to get more of them. But for now, a brilliant start.